everybody. It's Miss Jerri Lynn back again for our Sunday school lesson. Today's lesson is called Believers Share. It's from the book of Acts, and Acts chapter 4, verses 32 through 37. There were many people who believed in Jesus. They became a community. They shared everything they had with one another. No one said, "This is mine." The community of believers took care of one another. People shared their money with the community. The money was used to care for everyone, so no one was in need. The believers continued to teach about Jesus and shared God's love with others. I like this story because we are believers. We're believers in Jesus Christ, just like these people were. So because we're believers, we share. We share with each other. We share with our community. In the United Methodist Church, that's what our church is. We say these things. We say that we will share our time, our talents, our gifts, our service, and our witness. You may have heard us say that. We can share our time by helping others, by coming to church, by working on the church grounds, by helping others have some food. There are lots of things we can do with our time that will help others. We can use our talents. You may be able to play an instrument or sing a song. You may have told a joke at the talent show. You may be able to do some work outside the church. There are lots of talents that you have that can help, and you can share with the other believers. We can share our gifts. Sometimes that's money. We can maybe go get groceries for someone who needs groceries. Have you ever done that? That's how we can share our gifts too. We can share our service. That's when we help other people. We might, at Christmas time, we go buy gifts for people who don't have any gifts. And we do things like that. We serve and help other people when they need something. And then we share our witness. And remember, our witness, that's another new word, but that's another word for the good news. Our witness is our story about our life with Jesus. What is our story? How do I love Jesus? What has Jesus done for me? And so those are ways that we can share and the ways that believers share. So remember, you can give, you can help, you can use your time, and you can share with the other believers in your community. And that is your church community, and that is your neighborhood, that's your school. Community is wherever people come together. I hope you'll remember to help and to share, and remember that believers share with each other. You can do that. I love you. Just 2 more weeks till we see each other in person, and I can't wait. So talk to you next week. Bye-bye. I love you.
Hey friends, I hope everyone had a super awesome week. This week we are talking about sharing because I'm sure Miss Jerri Lynn did an excellent job of reading Acts chapter 2 verse 32 through 37, and that's when Jesus calls on us to share with others and care about others and all that good stuff. So this week, what we are going to be doing is we are going to be making bookmarks. So all you need is some construction paper and some markers and a little ribbon or string or whatever. So what I want you to do is I want you to cut out your construction paper the size of a bookmark. I made a really large bookmark, but it's going to fit in my Bible, so that's good. And then you're just going to put your favorite Bible verse on there. I put, "We love because he first loved us," which is from 1 John 4:19. Because I like to remember that Jesus loves me, and I think other people want to know that they're loved too. So then I didn't have a hole puncher, so I kind of just poked my pencil through the hole, and then I put this little string that I found in my craft box to make a little bookmark. And then we're not going to keep these bookmarks. I mean, I guess you can make extra and keep one for yourself, but we are going to share these with others. So you could share it with one of your friends or someone in your family, a neighbor, or you can just leave it and hope someone finds it and uses it. So we're going to do that. And then for our little activity thingamajiggy, with the paper, today you have this little cutout picture, and it's kind of just one of those what it's called, I Spy pictures, where you have to find these items hidden in the picture. And then on the back, it talks about other ways that you can share. This is more with financial help, but I mean, it still has really cool stuff to learn about. So that is that. This is our last video lesson, and then next week we're gonna be in person. Oh! So I hope to see you guys then. I miss you and I love you so much, and I hope you have a great week. Bye.
Hi everybody, it's Miss Justine here, and today we are talking about how the believers shared with each other. Remember, Jesus had been resurrected, and then he went back to heaven to be with God, and he left behind a group of people who believed in him. They became a community, and they shared everything with each other. They made sure that everyone had enough food and a place to sleep and clothing, and that nobody had more than anybody else. And that's the way that Jesus wanted them to live. And, because Jesus was no longer a human being on the earth, he relied on the church, the people of the church, the community of believers, to be his hands on earth. And sometimes you'll still hear people say that, to be the hands of Christ, which means to do the work that Jesus would do if he were here, but you do it in his place because you believe in him and you follow him. And so today, what I want you to do is trace your hands on a piece of construction paper. You can probably fit both your hands on one piece. I struggled a little bit with that, but if you draw, you put your hands on there, and in the fingers and on the hand, I want you to think of things that the community of believers back in the early days of the church, the ways that they shared together and worked together, and also things that you could do today to be Jesus's hands on earth. Like I put that you could sell unwanted things and give the money to help the poor. You can, give food to others. That's what they did. They made sure everybody had food and nobody went hungry. They all prayed for each other. They all shared with each other. I want you to think of some things, both maybe you could do on one hand what they did back in the early days, and on the other hand, things that you could do to be the hands of Christ on earth today. Just remember that, we're all here together, and we should all share both the love of Jesus and also the things that we need so that we can all be followers of Jesus. And you can also share the story of Jesus with others, which is a good thing to share. And I hope everybody has a wonderful week. And until next time, bye.
Hey guys, it's Mr. Tony, and it's time for us to make a little bit of music. So this week, I am super excited for several reasons. One of those reasons is starting next Sunday, we get to meet in person and make some music together. Everybody go, woo, for me, because I am so excited to actually see you instead of just looking at this computer screen, and that's going to be so much fun. I can't wait. We'll get to some rhythm sticks out. We'll be able to click some rhythms together and actually make some music. And so I'm really looking forward to next Sunday and being able to do Sunday school in person and have music as a part of Sunday school in person, because it has been a long year and I've missed seeing you all so much. So what I thought today we would do on our last video before we start meeting in person is kind of review some of the things that we've talked about this year via videos. And so we've talked about mostly rhythms. Rhythms are an easy thing that we can do, that we can make music, because it is the backbone of all of the music that we make. So if you remember rhythms, there are several different types of notes. I'm going to start at the bottom. Remember, we have the whole note. And the whole note is 4 beats. So if I hold my sticks and I give you a whole note, we go 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. And then we have the half note, which is half of the whole note. Makes sense why we call it a half note, right? And the half note is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So 2 beats for those half notes. So if we use this rhythm right here, we can put our half notes and our whole notes together, and we have a rhythm that sounds something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And of course we can't forget we have whole rests and half rests. The half rest looks like a top hat, meaning that we just don't play during 2 beats. If it's a whole rest, it's the opposite of this. Whole rest looks like this. It's like an upside down top hat. And we don't play for 4 beats. Then of course we have the quarter note. And the quarter note shaded in looks like this, and it's only 1 beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the basic beat we always use. This is whole notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. And of course we have the quarter rest. Well, it's just like the quarter note. This squiggly line means that we basically rest for 1 beat. So if I had 4 quarter rests, 1, 2, 3, 4, it becomes the same as the whole rest. Or we could have a quarter note, a quarter rest, a quarter note, a quarter rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. And then of course we have, lastly, that 8th note. It can look like this, and when you put 2 together, it looks like this. The 8th notes are 1/2 of a beat. When we play 8th notes, it could be like this. This rhythm is 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 8th notes to put all together go pretty quickly because they're half of a beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and just like that. And that's basically the rhythm exercises that we worked on this past year. So when we gather, we'll play some music, we'll get our sticks, and we'll try our best to put some of these rhythms together. The other thing we've learned a little bit lately has been talking about the staff and the different things on the staff. Remember when we put rhythms on the staff, it gives it pitch, and we can make music that way. So this is a staff. It has this high thing on here called a treble clef, which is a higher pitch. It has these little symbols, which tells us the key that the music's in, and this tells us the timing. So here's an example of a staff with notes on it. So the 2 quarter notes are on the staff. We have an A and an E. And we can figure those out by looking at a chart that says something like this. The space is usually on the staff. Spell out the word face. F-A-C-E. And those are our spaces. So knowing that pitch, we can place a note or find a note on a staff and know what it is. And we didn't get this far last week, but this is the lines. And so we often talk about the lines as E, G, B, D, F. Every good boy does fine is the classic way we talk about it. But I found some really cool ways we can look at that. Let's see if I can find them. Every good boy deserves fudge. Well, Mr. Tony probably deserves fudge, but doesn't need any fudge. But that's another one. E, G, B, D, F, that we can remember it. Every good boy does fine. Every good boy deserves fun. But what about the girls? Well, I've got a challenge for you. Let's see if we can come up with something that spells out E, G, B, D, F. Just like that. And maybe if you can find that out, you can tell me next week at Sunday school. I think that would be awesome. And we get to find out what those mean to you. So I've enjoyed having this time to teach you a little bit of music, and we're going to keep going and building off of this as we get into the summer. I hope that you all have a wonderful week. I hope you enjoyed Sunday school, and I can't wait to actually see you next Sunday. Take care. Bye-bye.